YouTube still isn't going. Oh, YouTube, you're getting so slow. I'm going to have to go back to the old system. Oh, what a ridiculousness. Hey, everybody. It's Lewis Porter Jr. It is Thursday, the 22nd. Oh, what a day. Oh, my God. That last video, so many people riled up. So many people. Oh, I loved it. Loved it. My God, I loved it. Oh, it couldn't have been any better. Let's get started because we're going to have some stuff we got to talk about tonight. I mean, you thought last night was fun. Woo! I want to be talking about some more stuff tonight. Ooh, somebody's going to go home crying. I'm just telling you, it's not going to be good for them. I mean, I'm going to love it, but I'm just sick like that. First up, Kickstarter, of course. Top secret. Oh, top secret. June 27th. Can I come fast enough? Yes, I know. I keep talking about it. I know. Zombicide. I haven't checked it in a while. I'm going to cover my eyes. I'm going to guess 3.5. Oh, 3.3. Uh-oh. This thing ends in 4 days. It may not break 3.3. I mean, let's just be honest, man. They asked for initially 300,000, so getting more than 10 times as much money, I don't think they're going to do too bad. I guess they're going to be okay. You know, they'll be strapped to cash. I hope. Pathfinder Kingmaker. Oops, my eye. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see. I'm going to guess it's finally got its 500,000. Wow, still hasn't got a 500,000. This is crazy. Okay, this is kind of interesting. All right, so it's at 494,000. Of course, it's going to hit 500,000, but it's about almost halfway through. So, and this is the lull. This is the lull. The lull is going to get it through, and they may not. Maybe they may not make 600,000. Maybe 600,000 the most they make, and that in itself tells. That's telling. That's very telling. You know, we've always talked about, you know, because the previous Kickstarters, they've had some problems. So will this affect this one? Well, I think it's slightly affected it. I think something's going on. I think people are looking at it. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on there. Next up, 7th Sea War of the Cross, 47,000. Okay, it's only like day 2. I'm not really surprised, but I am noticing that this isn't selling as well as I thought it would have based on the numbers from the original Kickstarter of $1.3 million. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Could this be a good thing, a bad thing? Could something else be going on? Is the interest really there? Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting piece. I'm not sure. But we're going to keep watching. We're going to see what happens. You know, that's the cool thing. We keep watching. We check it out. We see stuff. We get interested. Next up, of course, supporting our patrons. As always, you know, like I tell everybody, support our Patreon. These guys are very important. These guys are working very hard. There's nothing wrong with supporting them. Throw them a couple dollars. They'll appreciate it. Of course, Ask a Pathfinder, Clinton Boomer, Liz Courts, Owen Casey Stevens, Raging Swan. They're all good people. They're all people you want to support. So go out there, give them a buck. Hey, man, a buck isn't much, but a buck is a buck. No one says no to money. At least I hope they don't. I'd be like crazy or something. Ugh, I couldn't even understand that. That'd be like French to me. God knows how I feel about French. All right, so next up, boom. Belt promo, of course. Neox's Legacy is still moving along. We put out an announcement to actually our writers and editors today, so we're going to look like we're going to be doing some more cool stuff. I'm hoping to announce something maybe over the weekend. I'll just see if it works out the way I want to, but yeah. Stonemeyer has a new blog post. I saw it earlier, and I was like, this is a great topic, you know, for today. 10 things I learned about social media this year. Oh, so it's good things to read, kind of funny. I think it's interesting. I think you'll find some stuff useful as always. All right, Black Diamond Games has a blog, of course, but they also have a YouTube channel. So I'm going to be talking about that later. So the blog post had nothing new, but their YouTube channel did. And I want to talk about that later, but yeah. And Gary, of course, has a great old stuff. Boom. All right, so now here's a transition into the Black Diamond stuff. All right, so after yesterday's controversial conversation, people were calling me everything but a child of God. It was, oh my God. You know, if I didn't have like the same, you know, intestinal fortitude I've always had, I'd be like crying in the corner. But it's like, no, that's not going to happen. So I thought about it, and I'm like, people have a very odd perspective about stuff. They may not understand what's really going on behind the scenes. They have, you know, this is very much the sign of, you know, getting involved with the business as a freelancer and actually working the business. And then, like literally out of the sky, came an awesome video. All right, and the 2 videos here, there's 2 videos I've listed up for Black Diamond. The first one is expense and profitability. This is if you don't understand anything how stores and games make their money and what goes on. It's a great video for retailers and just the basic. But the one that's the real important one, the one that I actually had to show to someone else who didn't have any comment after I showed it. I don't understand what's going on there. This is the income, you know. So you want to start a game store, here's your income. It is interesting and kind of devastating to think about how much money you can make, with a game store. And he talks about his whole process. It's a 4-minute video. The other one I think is a 4-minute video. It's very quick, but it's to the point. And if you ever want to know what the numbers look like, he's giving you numbers from a perspective of a successful retailer. Gary Ray owns Black Diamond Games out in Concord, California. I've never had the pleasure of going, but I know that Gary has a top-notch store. I've only heard people talk good things about his store. It seems like they've done some amazing stuff. Let me actually see if I can get this, because last year, it might have been last year. It's been a while. They had a Kickstarter. Oh, come on. Let's see if I can get this. Thank you, Kickstarter. They're doing a community game center, and Gary Ray wanted to raise. He wanted to raise, what was the number? 25,000. He wound up raising 28,000. If you know anything about this, he basically was making an add-on to the actual store. And it was actually kind of interesting. Now, I don't live in Concord. I haven't been out there, but I know people who've been out there and they said good things. So I assumed it would be awesome, it'd be awesome support, that kind of thing. So Gary did this, and he's talked about it regularly on his blog and actually his company page. It's one of those things that it's kind of a weird thing. It's like, should a game store ask people for money to help do their build out? Some people say yes, some people say no. Some people are like somewhere in between. On this one, I'm going to be somewhere in between because I know I'm in, I've got my own personal bias to it. But at the same time, I want people to understand, what a good game store looks like, what an effective game store looks like. Because Gary, while it's impressive, is just a nice store. He runs it by the numbers. He's very much a focus on the numbers kind of guy. So if you want to talk about, what really goes on, the money you make and stuff like that, he's the kind of guy you want to talk to. You don't want to, he's not going to BS you. He's also writing a book about running game stores, which I think is going to be fabulous. I can't wait to see it. I really will hope that he puts it out so I can definitely buy it, and I'll definitely pimp it out here because I think it's an important thing. So I'm looking at his store at Google, and it shows interior pictures. It's a nice size store. It's a nice store. It's clean. It's bright. It's professional. And this is before the build out, so you get to see the before. And I don't know if they have that many pictures of the after, which would be shameful. I'd love to see the after. I mean, he has some of these done, but they have. Okay, there's one picture of the after. So they have a well-run store, and they built a second floor onto it. Well, yeah, it's in the back, but it's like a second floor. So there's like gaming stuff upstairs, downstairs gaming. And it's pretty impressive. And, this is what he did with the money. And here's the important, and of course, he runs Pathway Society there, which I think is also very cool, and he has a little ad for it. I think it just shows you, what a smart store would be. And yeah, he's kind of a Pathfinder fanatic. You can see all this stuff in the pictures. I've always been impressed with Gary from the perspective of, hey, I'm a fan of retailers. I've worked in, good Lord, I've worked in comic book and gaming retail since the age of 15. I worked at a lot of places, through my youth, my middle age, my college years. I know retail very well. And I have a lot of friends who are managed stores or own them. So, I talk to them a lot about what's going on, what they expect to see, what they want, what's going on in the industry. I like to do that. I think it's very informative. I think it's very good to do. And I think it's very important to do because we're talking about, people have ideas what they think, how much things cost or what they make and what the reality is. And having worked in this long enough to know they are usually far apart. People think, and they do that. And this is the very big difference. And I'm gonna tell everybody, some people haven't figured this out yet. I don't understand why not. I'm in business to generate money to do other cool stuff. That is my main focus. People are in the business to make fun and have fun. That's not a business. That's a hobby. That's the fundamental difference. I follow it like a true business. I'm about building a profit, making extra money, doing something more with that money, and building from that. That is my main focus. That's why I have this business. Yes. Is it enjoyable? Yes. It's a byproduct of my work. I work really hard on cool stuff, and it makes it fun. Yay. And then on top of that, people give me money. But my main focus is getting money because I've got to pay people. I've got to pay artists. I've got to pay writers. I pay myself. I've got to pay the bills that we get. I got to pay the lovely governmental things like it. You got to pay, be incorporated. You got to pay a certain amount of money to do that. There's all kinds of bills associated with running a business. And when you run a business seriously, you have to take those in consideration. And if you don't, you're going to spend a lot of time, digging into your pocket and getting more in debt. And then you realize your hobby has become a sinkhole. And like I said, this isn't a hobby for me. This is a business. There's a distinct difference. And, people said, oh, you don't do this right. You don't do that. I don't even listen anymore because, this sounds cruel, but it's true. I only listen to people when I ask questions about stuff that they have a direct impact or effect from it. You know, some people just want to hear what people want to say, and some people want to be helpful, but they don't know. They're not always helpful because sometimes they just don't know. They just don't know. They don't have a clue. I mean, they have an idea of what they think things are, and then the reality sets in. They're like, "Oh no, that's not how it is." It's like, no, that's very much how it is. You know, that's why I let professionals do best. They focus on stuff. They understand it better than me, and I ask them about it. I want to know. You know, when you say okay, here's a great example. Even Gary talks about this. He's talking about like his percentage he gets off from distributors. They normally get the price of the books at like 45% off the cover, and that's the margin they make that they go on to spend. So it's like it's a $10 book, they buy it for $5.50. The $4.50 is a profit for them. So that's a good deal. So in that little scenario, if I could move 10% from the 55 to his end, that's an increase. That's a massive increase for him. You know, to go from 45 to 55, dude, that's a substantial amount of profit right there. It doesn't seem like much, but when you start getting the numbers over and over, it becomes a big thing. So every number is important. Don't sit there and think that, oh, this doesn't matter. No, every cent matters, because literally, if you can move 5 or 10%, that could save you hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars now and down the line. And that's how you should be thinking. Think long term. Most people don't. Most people in this business are very, very short-term focused. They want to get the thing out. They want to get their name on it. They want to do the ego stroke. I don't care about any of that. I care about making successful business, making ways that people can get on, work with us, get paid like they're supposed to, not like 4 months down the road. Like, let me tell you a story. I won't use the names because it'd be calling people out. But a friend of mine told me today, we were talking, he did some work for a company. And initially they told him, okay, we're going to have you write X amount of words. And, well, I can tell you how many words. They were going to pay, they wanted 20,000 words. They were going to pay him like $500, that's a very good rate. And they were going to pay him when he turned it in. And he gets a percentage of money up front, like that. And the things go across, and it goes on, and then it goes sideways. And it goes sideways very, it's in the sense of, oh, no, that's not what we really meant. We meant we're going to pay you down the road when the adventure comes out. He's like, well, I gave the adventure months ago. Why isn't it up and why isn't it selling? He's like, oh, no, we're still deciding if we want to make it like maybe a special event. And he hasn't got paid for this work. So he basically gave up a bunch of work that's for free. Now, that's not a cool thing. That's not cool. He did his work, pay the guy, move on. But he hasn't gotten paid from this. So technically, it's one of those things. It's been months, plural. So the question becomes, did he get burned, or are they being good businessmen? I believe he got burned, and they're definitely not being good businessmen. Pay the guy. If they paid the guy and he'd be done, they'd have more work for him. It's like, boom, I got some stuff for you. Here you go. Here's your money. Here's what we promised. Boom. And, they did this on a handshake. I've done many handshake deals, but I also know that when I take my hand, boom, we're going to do business. Not everybody does that. I'm thankful enough that I do that. Right? So if I say you're going to pay this, you're going to get paid this. If I say you're going to get paid then, you're going to get paid then. If something happens and I don't do my thing, you can always give me phone. Oh, sure, here's your money, because I don't want to be in debt to someone. That's a weird type of slavery for me. I don't think that's good for people. I don't think that's good for long-term relationships. I think as soon as you get the money, pay them. It's just, if the thing says when you turn it in, we're going to pay you, you do that. Because only downside of that is, well, you list that money that you had in your pocket. But that guy's got that money and he's happy and he'll probably work for you again. Paying people has an amazing effect on the relationship. Say what you like about people. If they pay you, you probably forgive a lot more. It's that kind of simple. And we're in that kind of situation now. And it's just a tough scenario because, the margins are so thin in business. On both sides. On our side is manufacturers, and then on the retail side, the one that always seems to do somewhat well, but always claims they're not doing well, is always the middleman. And when you know anything in history, the middlemen always do well. So it's like, and then something else. This is the other thing that's spun out of that. It's like we talked about with Alliance and Asmodee, and it's like you've got Asmodee buying Alliance. It's like, holy cow, that's an amazing thing. It sounds kind of crazy, but at the same time, it's like, the part from a manufacturer point, you have another manufacturer buying out a distributor that you might sell to your product, and now they're gonna basically, they own them, and they're gonna sell their product. Of course, your product will still get sold, but they probably won't be pushed as hard as the other, because we've got our product line and we want to make our numbers on our stuff. Your stuff's, yeah, it's great for other stuff, but it's it's not the same. So I think you're going to see a lot of that going on. I think you're going to see a lot of people, I don't even use the word upset, but a lot of people cautiously worried for the right reasons. Because it's one thing to sell the location and you guys sell them, that's no big thing. It's a different thing when you're direct competition, and they are competition to other companies. Don't let it fool you. When your direct competition has access to your sales numbers through the largest distributor of game products. You know, it's like, could you imagine having your, somebody you don't know looking at your sales books and comparing to what they're doing, and they can see what you're doing and see how your stuff is doing. Oh, this thing's selling. Okay, this thing's doing well. Oh, okay, ooh, look. And even better, they can see what's selling so well. They could look at, oh, this is a cool product. We should do something like this for us. And that's the point I always said, because I think that's the weird part. It's like, how many times will this happen that games will pop up that are similar to ones that are selling very well from other companies? And I think it's a possibility. I think it's very much a possibility. I think any smart person will realize that's a very serious possibility, especially when people have access to your numbers and your sales numbers. That's why, it's Biggie Smalls, said it best, man. That's your stuff. You keep to yourself. I give it out. I mean, I give out some stuff, but I don't give out, my actual sales numbers, but I do understand about the process. And I tell you about that and how you can work that. But don't be like, letting your enemy know everything you're doing. Bad boys move in silence. There's a reason that line's in that song. You can't be telling everybody everything you're doing. Sometimes you got to be quiet about stuff. Sometimes you got to move to a thing and boom, I'm here. Then you do everything you're supposed to do. You make a ruckus, someone might show up there before you. Someone might ruin your plans in ways you didn't even know. You got to be prepared for that. And most people aren't. Most people are just thinking, oh, it's going to be fun and everyone's going to be love and hugs and kisses. And no, man, there are people making money off this. There's people who are sending their kids to college on this money. So don't kid yourself. There's money to be, looked at, involved. It's an important thing, and it does affect everything. And if you don't want to believe it, if you don't want to see it, and you think it's all just fun and games, that's great. If you want to find out what people are really about, start playing with their money. You'll find out very quickly. When people can't start paying rent and mortgages, they turn ugly pretty quickly. And if you think, people are doing this full time, and that might affect something they're doing, the real person will come out. The real them will come out. It's just the nature of the beast, and it's not a bad thing or a good thing. It's just what it is. Survival is important to people, and people are going to do what they have to do to survive. I'm not mad at them for it. I understand that. That's what they do. I think the thing I should be doing is focusing on how do I survive better? How do I survive in a situation like here's a little thing I used to do a lot. I stopped doing as much now. I'm not as worried as I was, but when I was younger, not even younger, but I was doing this, younger, yeah. I'd worry what happens if everything, what if I lost all my sales overnight? Bam. All my sales got cut to 50%. How would I react? What's the plan? What do you do? How do you handle this? What happens if I had a massive growth? What if my sales went up 300%? Oh, how do we do that? How do we spread out? How do we get more money for the future? These are all little scenarios you should run out in your head, because things happen. And as Kevin says on Shark Tank, poo-poo happens. And most people don't think about what happens. I know from a fact. I got kicked off the world's largest selling platform. I got taken down for 10 months. And I found out very quickly how much I had to adjust and move and pivot just to survive those times, because we weren't getting the same sales we were. My sales got cut by like 60 to 70%. And it was like, oh, that was painful. And then when the time came back, they said, oh, we want you to come back. We've had this thing. We want you to come back. Yeah. Did I come back? Yeah. Did I start making money? Yeah. Was I making as much money before as I left? No, because I'd been gone for 10 months. And I had to basically, and this is also at the time when 5e was changing and it wasn't doing a super duper pop as it was. And, when Pathfinder was coming. So we had that stuff going on. But these things happen that you've got to figure out, how are you going to survive them no matter what? Because things are going to happen. Things are going to happen bad. And you got to think about it. And if you don't think about it, well, don't worry. The bad things, when they happen, you don't know what to do. You're going to freak out. You're going to implode. And then someone's going to just sail into your spot, absorb the people that were probably interested in your stuff, and they'll be taking them and calling their customers. That happens all the time. That happens a lot. Okay. I didn't check this today, but I wanted to I thought about it, but I didn't get a chance to check it. So a lot of people, talk about third party and Paizo. And let me see if I can get to this, because I thought to myself, it's like, how many people are actually making Paizo products now? I mean, like real legitimate guys. Probably like maybe 20. I'm guessing 20. I'm gonna say 20. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna say 20. Let me see if I can find this. But this may not be as easy as I think it is. I'm gonna go about this in a backwards way. I'm gonna so okay, so like I wonder, when Pathfinder first came out, they had a page that you could sign up if you wanted to be a third-party guy and the whole thing. And it's kind of interesting, you know, it was kind of interesting. And it was like, oh, okay, I want to do third-party products. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can do this backwards, but I don't know if I'm going to find this. No. No, it actually just has my stuff. Damn it. Well, they had a list of people who were going to be doing third-party. I'm not going to find it the way I want to, but there are a list of people who want to do third-party products. There was a huge list of people, like a ridiculous list. Like, God, the list of people was so long, it was insane. Because no, that's a PFSRD. I can't find what I'm looking for. It sucks. I should have done this earlier, but things change completely. So I wanted to make products. They want to make products. So we all signed to this list. At this list, at one point, there must have been probably like 100, maybe 120 people on it. I mean, a massive list of people. And now you look, there's only like, 20 plus companies doing products. And yeah, new people come out with products like, hey, I'm coming out, I'm going to do this stuff. Hey, I'm going to pop out. You see that all the time. Not a big deal. It happens. But really, there's roughly only about like, 20-ish. I guess 20-ish is a fair number. Yeah, 20-ish people, 20-ish companies making stuff. But so many people want to make stuff. They're interested in making stuff. They'd like to make stuff. But then you find out what it's really about, man. Oh, Pathfinder Correct. Oh, maybe this will be it. Please, please, please. Okay, it's waiting for load up. It's all right. So I'm looking at this page. I'm going to send you the link because it's important, but you can look at this at your own leisure and you can examine this and you can tell yourself what you think about this. This is the list of third-party publishers at Pathfinder. It's a fair list. It's a fair list. And there's some people I've never heard of, and some people I know that haven't done any stuff. And the guys in the bold are the ones that like are, the better sellers, and they have a lot of product. 0 1 0. Let's go to the list of the bold ones I just see. 01 Games, AAW Games, Abandoned Arts, Avalon Game Company, Dreamscard Press, Ian Publishing, Enid Games, Fat Goblin Games, Flaming Crab Games, Frog God Games, Interjection Games, John Brazier Enterprises, Kobold Press, Legendary Games, Little Red Goblin Games, Louis Porter Jr. Design, Necromancers of the Northwest, Paizo, Purple Duck Games, Raging Swan, Wright Publishing, Rogue Genius, Super Genius, The Naughty Works, TPK Games, Ice and Spiel, but I think that's the actual translation, so I'm not going to really count that one. And that's the ones that are in bold. Now, there's tons of other ones. I mean, there's tons of other companies. Four Winds Gaming, Fourth Dimensional Gaming, 500 Penny Design, AFK Games, Aegis Games, Allurian Publishing, Avalane Publishing, Amore Games, ARMR Studios, Ascension Games, B Brother Publishing, Bad Mood Games, Battlefield Press, Black Diamond Games, Black Flame Studios, Black Star Studios, Bloodstone Press, Blue Bonsai Publishing, Brigade Publishing, Butterfolk Studios, C Creative, Cage Dragon Games, Casey Brown, Christina Styles Presents, Clockwork Gnome Publishing, Conflict, Corvius Lunius, Creator's Edge Games, Saboteur Conspiracies. I'm just at the C's. And that's how many people have put on top of the stuff of the main people. And I haven't, I said, just got to the C's. That's the end of the C's. I still got to go to the rest of the alphabet. And there's that many people who have stuff listed on here. 20 important players and everybody else. And the 20 important players, you know who the top 5 are. You know who they are. You know their name. You know them by name. Legendary, Frog God, Kobold, Dreamscard. See, I wouldn't even include me in the top 5. Who else would I consider? That's a good question. Who else would I consider to be in the top 5? Well, I guess, Raging Swan. Raging Swan or AAW. Yeah, Adventures of the Week for them. I think they would be in the top 5. Well, sorry. This is maybe even Rogue Genius, but, Owen is doing 12 million jobs, so I really don't even consider him to be like one person. He's like more like 4. But that's what's going on. So this is the business we're in. We're in the business of making products that people will enjoy and keeping our businesses up and running. But like I said, go to that page, look how many people who have products and games you never heard of. They were good, and then they went out of business. But we don't ever talk about that stuff. Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about those facts. They went out of business for all kinds of reasons. I'm sure most of them were the basic one. They didn't make the sales. They didn't make the money. They spent too much. The end. That's about it. All right, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to go over the rest of my weekend. Oh, for all those who are wondering, yes, Lucas went to the doctor today. We're going to be moving ahead with some surgery with him. That will probably be in July. So July will probably be a hectic time for me. I don't know exactly when, but once I know, I'll let you know. We're probably going to have to move some days from the channel and stuff like that. But it is what it is. I'm going to handle that accordingly. All right. Of course, go by YouTube and sign up. Check us out on Facebook. Sign up. New York's Legacies. Please check us out over there. If you're a retail store, you want to talk to us more about that, you can check the link also that's going to be in the description. Check us out. Ask questions. I'd be more than interested to talk to you. We can talk to other people who are doing stuff. It is going to be phenomenal. I'm not just saying it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be phenomenal. I cannot wait to do this. I think it will be awesome. And that's just a personal perception of mine. What can I say about that? Whew. So, as always, go give your parents a hug and kiss. Tell them that you love them. Tell them that you're thinking about them. Tell them that they care. They like to hear that. Tell your kids they're amazing. They're wonderful. And you love everything about them. Even when they do bad stuff, you still love them because they're your kids. And that's what you're supposed to do. You should be their biggest cheerleader. Don't forget that. It's very important. All right, everybody. You all have a good weekend, and I will see you here on Monday. Talk to you later.